We all know that our sin comes with consequences. We've all experienced pain from our choices, but we've also suffered under the brokenness of this world. Things are not always fair, and sometimes things are difficult to explain. We want answers, but they can be complicated too. The Bible is a book with a lot to say about sin and forgiveness. It acknowledges the deep brokenness and the darkness of this world and in our own individual lives. But it is only by understanding the darkness of human sin that we can understand the remarkable power and light of God's forgiveness. In forgiveness, we learn the true cost of sin and the call to live a holy life. We learn to receive forgiveness, put off sin, and show forgiveness to those who have sinned against us. We learn to pursue true holiness, even in the midst of a broken world. Perhaps part of what makes life difficult is the discrepancy between how we imagine life going and how it actually goes. It's not hard for us to imagine a perfect life. We do it all the time. But life never seems to go that way. We experience a world broken by sin. And it's not just us. Jesus' own disciples struggled to understand the brokenness of the world. Once when Jesus was walking with his disciples, they came upon a man who had been blind since birth. Seeing the man's struggle left the disciples with a question. They asked Jesus, "Why was this man born blind? Was it because of his own sins or his parents' sins?" Who hasn't asked those questions? Why did this happen? Why does life seem unfair? Why does it always seem like things go wrong? When we ask those questions, we're usually looking for a way to make sense of it. We're looking for an explanation, and often someone or something to blame. Who sinned? Whose fault was this? The truth is that much of what we experience is the deep brokenness of this world. From Adam's first sin, the world we have inherited leans towards struggle. It is the curse sin has unleashed: conflict, sickness, pain, toil, sorrow. It's all around us. But Jesus said something really interesting in response to the disciples' question. Who sinned, this man or his parents? Jesus answered, "It was not because of his sins or his parents' sins. This happened so the power of God could be seen in him." Jesus spoke to the man, made mud, and put it over the man's eyes. Then Jesus instructed him to go and wash. When he did, his eyes were opened and he could see. Jesus healed him of his blindness. The man had spent his entire life blind, in total darkness. That whole life of blindness led him to this moment when the power of God would be revealed through him. Healed, the man's response wasn't to complain, but to worship. He came and worshiped Jesus. He believed and was healed physically, but also spiritually. He not only received physical sight, but also a clear view of who Jesus was. Jesus explained to the man, "I entered this world to render judgment, to give sight to the blind, and to show those who think they see that they are blind." Jesus came to heal, but he also came to help us understand this world's brokenness, to give us hope in the midst of it. Jesus came to open all our eyes. We need to be healed, but we also need a clear vision of how Jesus is redeeming this broken world. You need your eyes opened. In your spiritual blindness, the brokenness of this world can be overwhelming, the darkness crushing, the hopelessness debilitating. But into the darkness of this world comes the light of Jesus. He comes to open our eyes. He comes so that the power of God might be seen in us. Can you see it? Can you recognize how God is revealing his goodness in the midst of this broken world? Can you acknowledge the brokenness? Can you receive this gift of new sight?